yet. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you want me to go first and demonstrate, I can do so. All right, I will. So,
yeah, I need time to think.
All right, so for me, my personal best was I have a 6-month-old grandchild that I got to spend some time with him this weekend because they live in South Georgia, so I don't get to see them all the time. That was awesome. And my business best is this week is really getting ready to, yeah, all y'all people don't have your camera on, please turn your camera on. Is getting ready to go to the International Franchise Association convention next week, which is one of my favorite things I do. So I'm working on what vendors we need to see, looking for new programs for you guys. So a lot of pre-planning going on there. Now everybody moved around the screen. So
Okay.
you ready, Orlando? You're first. Just business best, personal best.
Yeah, well, my personal best is about to happen. My parents will be up here tomorrow, and I haven't seen them in probably a year. So it'd be good to see my parents for, it's been a while, so that'll be great. And then business best, I mean, man, I feel like I got a lot done this week. I mean, I got my payroll set up. I've got my, my financing opportunity set up. So that's probably my business best right now.
Good. Awesome.
I learned a lot about lemon stores too.
Sean Mealy, you're next.
Personal best, just got to spend some time with my son, took him out skiing this weekend. So that was in Virginia. It was definitely the last. It was all more rock avoidance than it was skiing, but it was still good time with him. Yes.
Nice.
Business best, I am having a rough time right now, so I'm waiting for what's to come.
The best is yet to come, Sean. That's what you have to say. All right. Chris Minnick. Hi, Chris.
Hi. Personal best was, and I sent you this email, I'm finally in South Carolina and I moved with my apartment.
Nice.
And I underestimated how challenging all of the FCI stuff was going to be from remote and all that. Business best, Scott and I went on an outstanding call with a 2-floor measurement, multi-surface opportunity, which should be really good. And I have a non-Arlen assigned homework assignment from Scott that I'm going to be working on this afternoon. I'm really excited about starting to pick things up. So that's good.
Very good. Awesome. Derek, welcome.
Well, my personal good news is my son learned where his belly is today. So that was new. That was exciting. And he learned what a bee says. And then my business best, I got my samples and everything delivered this morning. So I got my first shipment in, which is exciting. I wasn't sure how the loading dock thing was going to work out, and everything went perfect.
It's having to feel real now, isn't it?
Feels real now. Now I got to start selling some stuff.
Right. Great. Johnny, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are y'all doing?
Great.
Personal best, my daughter made varsity as a freshman in softball.
Wow.
She has started her first 2 games. Her first start, she had 10 strikeouts, and I'm actually sitting at her tournament right now, watching her second start. It's been a little rougher, but yeah, she's doing well.
Well, congratulations.
Business
That's
best,
cool.
Thank you. Business best, yeah, I mean, checklist, just trying to knock it out every bit of the way, and trying to get it completely done. I did kind of underestimate how long it would take on the vendor apps, but yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, all the insurance stuff has been submitted, waiting on quotes from 3 different providers now. And yeah, that's been, trying to get all of it done.
Awesome. Very good. Thanks. Kimberly.
So hello. So my best for this week is I got to go hang out for like 3 hours with my best friend from high school and catch up. We had a great coffee, chit chat, girl stuff, so that was fabulous. And then my business is last night, my office manager accepted my offer.
Yay. Great.
And she starts on March 1st. And I'm now going to work on a few little logistics to make sure, background check, all that. And then I am going to bring her to Atlanta. So I'm going to.
Great. Awesome. Very good. Glad to hear that. Wonderful. Manuel, how are you? You're up next.
Jackie, hi everyone. My personal best this week was my 9-year-old son scored his first goal at a soccer match, so it was very exciting.
Awesome.
And business-wise, I closed a deal this week so I can handle now the other business I have to my partner, so I can be 100% here. So that's
You sold your other business, your partner?
Yeah, until 2 days ago.
Oh,
Wow,
wonderful.
congratulations.
Well,
Yeah.
welcome all the way into the family.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Well, that's awesome. Glad to hear. Hi, Alan. You're up next. Personal best, business best.
Personal best, I celebrated my wedding anniversary, so that was good.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. And then business best, I guess I got my shipment last night from Amazon Business, box full of all the stuff to start my office up next week. So hopefully we'll be in the office next week and waiting for your arrival.
Oh, that'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
Alan's the lucky recipient of living in the city where I'm going to my convention at. So very nice. I'm also looking forward to it. Let's see who's next. Bertha, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Well, my personal best this week, I remodeled which is gonna be my office.
Ooh. Oh, look.
Yeah, I'm here in the house, but I moved my boys' toys room to the basement, and I took over this space. So very excited. My business best, well, I have the call yesterday, the Sales Inspire call, and I got a very good feedback, and I feel more confident than the day before.
Cassandra is claiming that coaching skill, which she
did awesome. She did awesome yesterday.
Great. Good job. Thank you. Marty, hello there. How's Michigan today?
Oh, we got 4 or 5 inches of snow last night, so it's routine for here.
Yep.
But we've been pretty lucky so far. We had no snow for a long time here the last few weeks, so it kind of sucked to wake up to it, but it's life. Personal best is actually a hard one to answer right now because my personal life has been absorbed by floor covering stuff. But if I had to say, I mean, both my kids are heavily into sports. I watched my son probably play his best basketball game on, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. So it was pretty exciting.
Good.
Beat up a rivalry in the next county. So it was kind of fun.
Good.
Business-wise, a lot of best going on, I guess. Finally was able to, I had this office warehouse space that was lingering out there, waiting on them to get paperwork, but I got the keys the other day and I'm going to do a little work in there and try to get moved in there and actually work there next week if I can. I'm sorry to working at home. There's too many interruptions.
Yeah.
And I got my van wrapped. I got the racks and the samples. So I guess all in all, if you wrap that all into one comment, I'm going to have all my hardware in place here in the next couple, 3-4 days. And that'll make me able to work on some of the technical stuff here and get some of that wrapped out big time.
Yeah, it's like the domino, right? Once you get a few of those things done, everything kind of falls behind it. So that's great. Good work.
Exactly.
Jorge, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Personal best. Tomorrow we're going skiing, so there's been good snow, so I'm happy about that.
Not like Virginia skiing.
Yeah. And work-wise, kind of, I got finally a really good quote for the business insurance, so I will wrap that up today.
Good, nice. Ed, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Good, thank you.
Well, I guess personal best is my daughter and grandkids are on their way home from Tennessee after closing the deal on their house in Tennessee, so that they're officially going to be moving into their rental property here in Florida in March. And,
nice.
So that's good. You know, it's been 10 years and my granddaughter's 3 and my grandson now is 16 weeks. So it's nice to have them close after all those years. But and my professional best, I guess, look, there's been a lot, but I think one hopefully is this weekend. It's going to be my first exposure to one of the home shows. West Palm Beach is having a home show, so I'm going to be attending that with Jason and some of the other guys.
Good. That's glad. That'll be that great. Be a great experience. Can't wait to hear your report back on that. So, very good. Let's see who's next. Hi, Katie. You're next.
Hi, everybody. Let's see. Personal best. I got to spend a brief, like 15 minutes with my oldest son, who's away at college, 2 days ago. So really, it was to deliver him things, but it was just nice to catch up with him, make sure he's on the right path. And then business best, I finished a couple things, did our insurance, just wrapped up with Open Phone and secured 2 phone numbers that we wanted through them and got that set up, and heard from Mike, and our van is getting ready to get on the truck and be shipped, and signed our lease for our office space. So I feel like I'm checking off a lot of things on my list here. So
good stuff. That's nice to hear. Great. Let's see who's next. Jane, but you need to turn your camera on, please.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Sure. Jose, oh, there you go.
Hey, hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm driving. So hi everyone. Personal best. I finally got my 4-year-old to read an entire book by himself with just a little bit of help.
That's awesome.
And my daughter just started in a new swimming level class, and she's doing really good with that.
Nice.
Business wise, it's been really busy for me, but it's all good things. So I'm going around getting different quotes, trying to close on the business insurance and auto insurance. The mobile showroom is finally solidified. I think I have like 9 more tasks left on floor 1-1. And 5 of those I feel like I can't really do until it's like very, very close. So I'm really happy about that.
Okay, good work. Josiah, if I didn't say your name right, tell me. Josiah?
Yeah, you said it right the second
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
sometimes
just
you're
Joe.
back me
Yeah,
around.
I'm the other Joe. Another Joe. Another Joe.
Another Joe. I love it. So
Yeah.
good. What's going on with yours?
So personal, I'll be headed to Tennessee. This is what my daughter's doing gymnastics, so we got to travel to Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, for 2 days.
Fun.
So I got that going on. It's her last year of gymnastics. That's what she says anyway, going into high school. And then for business wise, again, tamping down on the checklist. I actually met with Dial Tile rep. He came to the office because I do have office space. So I met with him. He gave me some tips and tricks. I met with an installer too that was referred to me. So I've been going on. So really, just picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Did I miss anybody? You guys are jumping around the screen a bit. I think I got everybody. Oh, Richard, sorry. Last but certainly not least.
Thanks. Good to see everybody. Personal best. I got to spend time with all of my wife's family, and particularly the grandkids and grandnieces and nephews at Mardi Gras a couple weekends ago. That was a heck of a lot of fun. Business best. This has been kind of a active week for me too. Finally finalized, secured all the funding, agreed with the current landlord on going forward lease. I think I've made a decision on the mobile showroom to get a new one rather than trying to take on the one that's there. In contact with insurance agents, so a lot of good things coming together. Took inventory of all the samples earlier this week with the current owners. So a lot of good stuff going on.
Okay, great. Yep, lots of stuff to hear because you another we have 4 or 5 resales in this class. So good. Thank you so much. Good. All right. Well, so we've got everybody. Did I miss anybody else? I did. But if you're not here, raise your hand. Does that work? The purpose of our call today, and this is part of your training series, is to introduce the business plan and to start the business planning process. So our goal when you guys come in for launch would be to have the majority of the business plan finished I think your call, you guys did you have a call this week with Beth or is it next week? Beth and Pollocky in marketing. Did you guys have that call yet about business planning? Anybody? Nope. Okay. So
Well, 101. Yeah.
Oh, yes. She started the one, but you weren't doing the actual business planning, right? You're on your
No.
tab. Okay, good. So we're gonna walk you through this lovely business planning format. I'm gonna share it on the screen, and when we're done, I'll make sure I send it out to everybody. So you guys will have this when you get done. So let me pull this up and then share my screen. And Cassandra, of course, jump in if I totally missed something here. All right. So here's the business. You guys can see the business plan, the journey. You probably you've got probably version of this when you guys were here for pre-launch, right? When Tom or Chad was talking. So the journey is, we know, right? We know that we're driving to $2 million. We know what the KPIs are on that. This process that we're going to be working at now is how do we get this on paper, right? How do we actually get to a point where we can act like a CEO and make decisions in the business based on your plan, not on what happens to you, right? It's about you controlling your future. So this is, you can see if you look along the bottom, there's a lot of tabs. Big old Excel sheet, a lot of tabs. So when I email this to you, and you'll be at some point sending it back to Cassandra and myself, make sure you save this, save it with your last name, and then 2024 business plan. And then as we go, you might have a version 1, version 2, version 3, that kind of thing. At the end of the day, when this is complete, we actually upload this into Salesforce. And then if you go into Power BI and some of our reporting tools, you're actually able to look at your progress in your business versus your plan. And then these plans roll up to our plans. So we're all kind of, it's kind of like that race where you tie yourselves together, leg to leg to leg to leg, and you try to run down the field. We're tied together with you guys leg to leg on this. So, so we want to make sure that, you know, A, there is a plan, and B, that it's an attainable plan. So I'm going to walk through some of these tabs, and then we'll talk about what your homework is based on these. So number 1, this is very interactive.
Jackie.
Yes.
Jackie, I don't think you can see the chat. I was just wondering, are you going to record this, or do you need
recording?
to?
Yeah, it is recorded. Yep.
Oh, I didn't see it. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. Oh, you know why? I recorded on my computer by accident, not in the web. But yes, I'll have the recording to be sent out as Savannah normally does. So I want to point out a couple things about this. I got to shrink this down just to show you guys. I don't like to make this thing small, but there's going to be some things in here I want to show you. So this is the journey. And again, right, if we're driving to that $2 million business is our floor. That $2 million business is somewhere here just past stage 3. Okay. And right now you guys are down here in the corner, right? So this is where we got to get. This is the whole thing, like getting that $2 million business. And you know, I'm going to leave the whole why $2 million is the number to Tom and Chad and Alan. You'll hear that story probably 3 times. But what I like to, the nice thing, back up, one of the reasons we have this tab on your business planning form is to look at the structure of the business. So again, we don't care, for example, to get to stage 1, which is really where your first year in business is, you're going to end up here or past it. We look at this and say there's 2 who's, there's 2 heads in the business, right? You guys heard that. Each person is worth $500,000 to your business. So, you know, to get here, this isn't what you do when you get here. It's what you need to get to 700, right? The next one is adding a DA or adding another who, give you 3 people in the business to get you to 1.35. This isn't what you do after you get there. And then to get up here, that 1.8 to 2 million, there's the 4 who's that we talked about when you guys were here before. 4 people in the business get you $2 million. Remember, we said 4 people, 13 have proposals. This was an example of a 4-person business. Does not have to be these job titles. So we like to use this during the business planning process, because if we get out here when we're actually working on your plan, and all of a sudden you've got 5 people in the business, but you're only doing $1 million, we say, well, here's the 5 level. That's not $1 million business. It's a $2.75 million business, right? So again, this is great to refer back to kind of see what the business structure could or should look like, right? Again, I will say this, and you'll hear Cassandra and I both say this a million times. This is your plan for your business. This is not Jackie's plan and Cassandra's plan, and it's not a plan you're writing for Jackie or Cassandra. This is your plan for your business, okay? And we'll say that a million times. Sometimes when we're in this process, we have to look at you and say, hey, right now, our job is to protect you from yourself, right? Because we put it all together and you're losing $300,000 next year. That's your plan. Can you live with that, right? But again, so there's a lot of conversation and give and take, and then we come here and we're going to go through this again in great detail when you guys actually come to training in a few weeks. So what we're starting now is just the introduction to this process. Cassandra, anything else you want to add around that? Sorry.
No, I think, yeah, you touched on everything. And the only thing that I would say here is to not get hung up, as Jackie said, on the titles. It's head count. And it's not it's not the head count you want to have after, it's the head count that's going to get you there. So
yeah, good. Yeah, exactly. And we'll refer back to, typically we refer back to this chart. So it's the first tab called the journey. So this is your first homework, write this down. Green tab number 1, your vision, your personal vision. I would not expect anybody to be able to fill this out at this point of the call. So you're gonna type down here. So again, I want to put, if you guys can see the top of the form, every one of these tabs has a video link up here in the top in blue. Alan did a really nice series of videos. So there's one for each tab that talk about the purpose of the tab. So if you get lost or not sure what you're supposed to do, watch the 2 or 3 minute video. Okay. So you're all going to have that link on every single page. This, and then this one, instructions, you're only going to fill in the gray or brown tabs, depending what color that shows in on your laptop or your computer. So the question is, what is your ultimate professional vision? Why did you buy a business? Why are you not working for someone else at this point in your life? It could be, I'm going to build it and give it to my children. I'm going to build it and sell it and then retire. It could be, I love the home improvement industry and I want to build a big business. I want to build a $10 million business, whatever that is. This is very personal, and don't answer these questions per se. These are things for you to think about. What does your ultimate professional life look like? These are just some considerations, okay? Don't have to answer each question. So that you'd put in this section here. And then the second part of this, why did you choose us? Why did you choose to become part of Floor Covers International to help you realize this vision? Right? What are the things that, what does it mean to you to be part of the FCI family? And why do you think that this is the choice you made to get you to where you need to be? Yeah, very personal. This will be very different for each one of you. So any questions on these first 2? Fairly self-explanatory, okay? And this takes some thinking. Yeah. Oh, of course, go.
Quick question. I remember on the last corporate call, like in order to be in the Leadership Accelerator program, like it was 2 million and 2, but I noticed in the last journey, it seemed like the growth rate was a little bit slower. I mean, are you guys pushing us to this, or is it the 2 million and 2?
So the floor is a $2 million, and if we had, and so pushing is kind of a relative term, Johnny. I'll answer it that way because it's your business, right? For example, I'll give you an example. We just onboarded because I'm with Savannah on the call, new onboarding calls for new people. We signed somebody last week, who's coming in with the capital to build a $2 million business in 12 months. That's a lot of money to invest, guys. That's a crap load of money. So you'll see in here, there's no time marking on here. This is dollars and number of showrooms, not time. So you can go up this path as fast or as slow as you want, but 2 million and 2, and part of that is because we don't want you to run out of cash, right? Because you're going to spend it. So you're going to hear all of that rationale as we go. But yeah, so there is no time axis on this graph. That's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Good. What else, guys? Any other questions on the vision or the journey? Okie dokie. So
I don't have a question on that, Jackie, but Alan told us where this was, but I failed to remember. Can you tell me again?
It's going to be emailed to you when we get done.
Good enough. Thank you.
Yep. The version that's posted has some calculation errors in it, so it's just easier to email it out. Okay. Good question. Yeah, not everybody heard that. Thanks.
Yeah, Jackie, I have one question too with the previous slide. It says number of mobile showrooms operating.
Yep.
Is this considered with only one territory, or because I don't know if in my territory 6 or more mobile showrooms will be too much?
Oh, so here's how it goes. Think of each mobile showroom as a store. Let's use Subway. Use Subway as a parallel. So this is one mobile showroom. Let's call it one location, right? One store. A fully utilized mobile showroom, meaning the same person driving it for 12 months. So a very established proposal writer and over 12 months. Should generate somewhere between, let's just make it easy and say $800,000. It might be $750,000, it might be $900,000. Let's just say one mobile showroom is $800,000, right? So you have, which is kind of corresponding to this somewhere in the 7K right in here, right? Let's say, just say it's 800. That's the capacity of that mobile showroom. That's the capacity, right? Because that's 2 appointments a week times 6 days a week with all the follow-up and all the installs. So we'll just say that that's what that should generate for you. 2 mobile showrooms, but that would go to what? 2 fully utilized mobile showrooms for 12 months would be what? How much?
1.6.
1.6. Guess what? Right there, right? Not quite 1.8, but more than 1.3. That's that. So 2 mobile showrooms. So it's more about what you're trying to generate revenue-wise in the business and what they can support. Now, we've got, do we have design associates? Not owners, because you guys are wearing 59 hats, as you already know. But design associates are hired to do nothing but sell. That's all they do in your business. They should be able to do close to $1 million out of a mobile showroom because they're doing nothing else. That's all they're doing, right? Very, very specialized.
Jackie, is that number that you're talking about, the 800,000 or $1 million, is that in year 1? Or is that a pace that you're talking about once they get, call it, up to speed through their learning curve?
Say it's 12 months, Richard, whatever that rolling 12 months is. Yeah. So your first 12 months in business, right? Did I answer it? So there's no time component on this is my point.
Hey, Jackie, I think one of the questions I try to clarify, because I had the same question with Manuel, right, is I think the question is how large of a territory would normally support 1, 2, or 3, right? In my case, I bought, 1 territory and then I got an extra territory. Just ballpark, I mean, is there any kind of rule of thumb that says in 1 territory, it's 3 mobile showrooms or 4 mobile showrooms? Or
we've got people that have 1, 2, and 6 all in the same size territories because it's based on volume and what you're generating, which could be average job size is higher, your close rate's better, right? A lot of things go into that dollar number, Ed.
Okay.
So let's think about this more in terms of a store, right? So to go back to the original question, at six, so say it's 6 times 8, that's $4.8 million. And you'll see if we go up here and it says 5 mil, we're missing about 200K there, right? If we had 6 of these full-time on the road with the designer, the difference, and you'll see that if we do the math on all these, it's $200,000 to $300,000 difference between what these would generate on average. The difference is what you as the owner are going to start bringing in, because you're going to have personal referrals that only want to work with you. You're going to have repeat business, and you're going to have some small commercial business you don't want to pay commission on. There are things you as the owner will continue to contribute revenue into your business. I don't know if that's clear or muddier. So, right.
No, I think it is in terms of that. I'm still trying to understand population in certain territories and so on and so forth.
Well, if you go back and read how the territories were designed, I think each territory has 50 million in opportunity. This is not my strong spot, guys, right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll
just
go back and
pretend
check,
that's
but I think
right.
that was really what I was trying to get at is how do you know based on,
Yeah,
territory?
you have all that information when you guys went through FranDev, how the territories were designed. It's based on eligible households who do flooring, whatever that X number is, right? So let's pretend that's 50 million. I don't know, right? Pretend it's 50 million. And if you have a 10% market share, which is way more, our average franchisee now is still building up to 3 to 4. If you had a 10% market share in that would be $5 million, right? That would be four vans, probably 4 vans plus an owner. Right. And but there's no ceiling. There's no, okay, so we stop here, right? So again, think of these in terms of stores or operating units, call it what you want. We don't have locations, we have mobile showrooms, right? Does that help, Manuel?
Yes.
Okay. Great
Thank you,
question.
Jackie.
Well, great comments from all you guys.
I appreciate the question, honestly, because I had the same thing. I was like, okay, I got this much space. Am I limited to 2, 3, 4? But it doesn't sound like so.
It's what limits you is your capacity. And by the way, that could be the flip side of that, right? If you get capacity in one mobile showroom and you don't start expanding, scaling, if you will, hiring, that you become self-limiting.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I think the way that somebody gave me a simple example, Jackie, that I've just held on to for the last 6 months is Jeff Bell has 3 territories across 2 states, and he's running, on the way to 12 or 13 million, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's all about market share. It's really what it is. Going and taking market share away from your competitors. And we're right now a small fish in a really big pond. So lots and lots of growth opportunity. Good questions, guys. Thanks. All right. this will become important when I go over to the next tab. So do you guys feel at this point, the journey and the number one green tab you guys are good with? All right. The next homework, write this down, is tab number 1A, 3-year VTO. So did you guys all get the traction book when you were here for pre-launch?
Yes.
So you know VTO stands for Vision Traction Organizer, right? And it's part of the EOS system, which we practice internally, as does our parent company. So this is kind of ingrained in all the FirstService brands. Again, here is a video from Alan if you want to watch it. And this column B going down, this is really what our core values are, what our core focus is, what our target market is in terms of consumers. We're going to have you guys focus initially on filling out column C's and CAT. Okay, so when you look down the road and you look at the end of 2026, which is roughly 3 years or 2 years and 11 months from now, what do you want your revenue to be? This is you guys in your head, right? You want to be a $2 million business? Do you want to be a $3 million business? I mean, again, for each of you guys, your personal vision, if you will, of your business is going to be different.
And revenue is installed, guys.
Yeah, revenue is installed revenue. Everything we talk about sales or revenue is all about installed, not sold. Right? This sold isn't real until you install it and get your final payment. That's what revenue is. So when we say $1 million business, we don't mean sell $1 million, we mean install $1 million. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. So let's just say I'm going to demonstrate this. Say I want to be a $2.5 million business, right? That's my goal. Okay. Now, profit can be 1% or $1. I don't know what should my profit be? What's the average profit for 2.5 million? Well, strangely enough, it's on the journey tab. So you come back over here, you look at 2.5, so you're roughly somewhere in this range right here, right? So you'll see on here CBY. CBY stands for combined business yield. And this is your bottom line that bottom line cash flow profit you make each month, adding back in any owner benefit, meaning the salary you take out. So if you're if you're in a month, you're $10,000 positive, and you took $5,000 out to pay yourself, in reality, that's a $15,000 profit because you guys took that money for yourself, which is fine. This is not judgmental. We're going to go through this math 100 times. So just know that CBY means your operational profit plus your owner salary. So if you were at 2.75 and you made 10%, that would mean there'd be a $275K nut left at the bottom. Take it for your salary, reinvest in the business. We don't care, right? That's the point. This is your actual operational profit, not paying the owner. So we take the bottom line and we put your owner salary back in. And we'll see how we're going to do that in a minute. So if you're not sure what you should be making at roughly 2.5 million, this is 10 to 12. This is 10 to 13. And this is really the investment phase of your business, right? You're going from 7 to 10 to 10, 12 to 13. All of a sudden you get up here and now it's jumping up. Now because your fixed costs stay the same. Your rent is the same, whether you do 10 million or 3 million or 1 million or 700, your rent is the same, right? So there's fixed costs that don't change. Your liability insurance doesn't change, right? Your auto insurance will, right? But so a lot of your costs and expenses are fixed. So this is really getting you up to here is what we're trying to do as quickly as we can. So if I look at this and say, this is 10 to 12, this is 10 to 13, I'm going to say, I think my profit should be 11%. Come back over here and you go to profit and you can say 11%. If you want to use dollars, it doesn't matter. Depending on how your mind works, right? So there you go. Again, we're making a goal. And marketing spend, so your marketing spend at the end of your 3rd year is going to be somewhere around 10%. Could be a few points less depending on your volume, but until you get up here, you're going to be spending 8 to 10%. If you're in a co-op, that would include your co-op for 2% that you're spending. So say that my marketing spend here is going to be 10%. You don't have to do it in dollars. So what we're doing here is making things that we can come back and we can measure. Did we hit 2.5 million? Was our bottom line earnings 11%? And did we spend 10% on market? These are goals. And guess what, guys? These are going to change because we do this every year, right? This plan morphs every year. But this is like, what is your vision, right, of where you want to be in 3 years? Questions on that? Make sense? And again, this is why we have the journey here. You can always go back and forth and look at what that looks like. Questions? That's good. And then the next section, which are these 3 squares here, are what are the meaningful measurables? And this doesn't mean you write $2 million in here again. It might be, I can take a 2-week vacation, my business doesn't shut down. or I'm making enough money that I could take my family to Europe for 3 weeks. Whatever these things that are driving you to run the successful business, these are pretty personal, right? It could be my first child starting college and I was able to pay the whole first year's tuition without borrowing money. I don't know, right? All you guys have different things you're doing. Or I'm going to start an education fund for my child who's an infant. Whatever those things are, again, they're measurables. Did we get to do this or not, right? Things that are driving you to drive your business. Org chart, what does your team look like? So you guys count as one of the who's. So it might say owner, office manager, 2 DAs. Or owner, 1 DA, because maybe you want to continue to drive the van, which is fine. Office manager and a production coordinator. Whatever those are, describe who those who's are. Don't get hung up on the titles on the journey chart, but what do you want your business to look like at that point?
Jackie, I got a question about that.
Of course.
And it's just it's a soft answer probably, but like I'm on the other side of that one.
Yep.
Not that I want to sell, but I'd like to get out of the van as soon as possible. Is that a common feeling for people that own the business?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Good.
I would say,
'Cause I didn't want
you,
to feel like I was weird.
Marty, did you buy this business to drive a mobile showroom for 10 years?
No, I did not.
Probably not even regular no's, probably some explicitive and then no, right?
Yes.
Right. So
Okay,
again,
good.
and that's why we want to know what your vision is, because we're going to help you build to your vision. That's the whole point, right?
Got it.
I would say when you think long-term, there's 3 chief executive roles in your business. Do you want to be chief of sales, chief of production, or chief of marketing?
I like that idea.
So what drives your boat? What lights your fire? Some people say, if I never have to go to an install site again, I'll be happy. Some people say, if I never have to go into a customer's home to sell again, I'll be happy. Some people say, if all I did was go out and market and network and drive leads to my business, I'd be happy. Right? So the part of that is finding the place that you love and why you bought this business. You only bought this business to do something you don't like. You might have to a little bit, but not every day, all day, right? So that's kind of at that point we'll say, well, what do what is it you're trying to do? Yellow square. What is going to be? What happened? Someone just jumped in. What's going to be the biggest difference in your business between today and the end of 3 years from now? And it might be, I'm not in the van at all. I'm not doing anything in the show. It might be, I don't know, whatever. What are the things I wanted to? I want to be the president of my BNI. But these are things that. What is the biggest thing in your business and you between today and 3 years from now? Okay, so think about that path. And then the light green square at the bottom is, what is the one thing that I have to accomplish working with corporate, meaning with my coach, Cassandra, Jackie, Ron? What is the one thing we have to get done in 2024 to ensure that if this is your journey, that we get to where we need to be at the end of year 1? What absolutely has to happen this year? I have to hire my first DA. Whatever those things are, what has to happen this year to make sure that when we get to December of this year, that I'm on my path to where I want to be. So this is going to force you guys to go through a lot of thinking here, right? About this is bigger than I bought the business because I love flooring, or I bought the business because I met Jackie and Cassandra on D-Day and I had to work with them. I don't know, right? Whatever those things are. But the point of that being that this is really what's driving your business, okay? What's going to help us drive your business in 2024. Okay, so questions on this column C is in cat.
Yeah, I've got one, Jackie. I guess just more clarity on the meaningful measurables. Those should be more personal.
They could be. Yours might be, I want to go to Italy for 3 weeks every year. I don't know. I mean, or I don't know, it could be around your family. It could be around your business, right? It could be, I want to have, again, you've got some measurables up here, but it could say at that point, 3 years from now at $2.5 million, I want 3 mobile showrooms and 3 1 million, I want 3 mobile showrooms and 2 $1 million DAs, or I want a $2 million DA, or I mean, there's all sorts of things. What is lighting, what would light your fire in your business, Derek? Because all of us have reasons why we bought the business, right?
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the vision, right? Number one, he could
get back over here.
Those in here.
Yep. Yeah. So, but now what we're doing is we're breaking this into chunks, right? So every year we'll do another 3-year vision every year. So next year it'll be one that ends in 2027. The year after that'll be one that ends in 2028, right? As you guys progress through the growing of your business. All right. Great question. What else? All right. Cassandra, anything else we missed on there? Is that pretty good?
Yeah, that's good. Good questions. They have a
Yeah.
lot of them. Good
You guys have
questions.
great questions. Good stuff. Okay. All right. So that's homework. The next homework is tab 1B, 1-year vision. And I will say personally, and I think Cassandra would probably share this opinion, this is actually easier to fill out completely once you've got your business plan done. Right? Because you might have your goal, say your revenue goal this year. And I would say this, do this for 2024, which for you guys will be 10.5 months, right? Or 9.5 months, right? Not a full 12. So say your revenue goal is 800,000, for example, right? And then you want your profit to be 10%, which would your pay being 80K. Okay. And then you're going to spend somewhere first year between 14 and 16% marketing. That's across the board. So 15% marketing. What does your team look like? And you say an office manager, me, and 2 DAs, right? I want to be out of the van at the end of the first year, so I want to put 2 DAs. And then we're going to go back and say, okay, if you have an office manager, yourself, and 2 DAs, how many headcount is that? 4.
4.
Right? And if 4 times 500K per is 2 million. So you now have the infrastructure and most importantly, the cost structure for a $2 million business, yet you're only going to do 800,000. This is where the dots don't connect. Right? So these are the things we got to think about. You might say, I want to invest this, Jackie, because when I hit January of 2025, I'm going to do 2 million next year. I'm going to have 2 vans on the road full time starting on January 1st. So you're getting yourself prepped for that. And then where that rubber will meet the road is when we go ahead and do your business plan and say, wow, look at the bottom line.
Yeah, Jackie, that's where we want to end the year. Let's say we want to have 3 DAs, but if you're hiring the 3rd in December, you're not going to get $500,000 of revenue out of that person. So,
right. And and we'd have the actual verbal conversation about that, Alan, 100%. What does this mean?
We're going to prorate that revenue, right?
Yep. And then, that's going to come out. So remember, this is the verbal part. And then we get over here on the actual expense and the P&L part. That's going to show up there because we're going to put the head count in the months they're being hired. Absolutely. Okay. Yep. So all we're trying to do is make sure when we go through this with you guys is that that 1 year connects to the 3 year, the 3 year connects to your vision, and that when we get to the expense and the actual P&L budget part, that supports what you're trying to do. We're just trying to make sure it's all in alignment.
Yep.
Great. Questions?
How realistic is it to actually post a profit for the first 8 months of the year or 9 months of the year when we're going to be overspending in marketing, hiring people, even the initial setup expenses are all going to go against the P&L of year 1, right?
Well, a couple things. Your initial expenses don't go on your P&L, they go on your balance sheet.
Okay.
So your business is carrying those. But so I'll take the question and say, how realistic is it to make a profit sometime in year 1? Is that fair?
No, not sometime in year 1. I'm thinking specifically if we're going to report here from late March, like literally early April through December, which is what this sheet is about, right? This is not about 12 months. This is 2024. So is it realistic? And if jobs installed or booked in December, likely not going to hit until January.
Yep.
Is it realistic to expect even any profit percentage in this first 8 months of the plan?
Monthly, yes, it is. Like when our goal is to have you break even, if you will, bottom line, month 6, right, Cassandra? We have to break even by month 6. But realize that, which in this case would be what? Let's just say September, October, somewhere there.
But
right?
on a compound basis, we're going to be catching up to the first 5 months.
Right, because you have expenses in January, February, March, and you don't have any revenue. Exactly. So typically, and so again, it also depends on how quickly you want to invest in growing. So I will make one comment, Andrea, this 15%, this is not overspending. That's not overspending. That is the budget.
Sure, in marketing, you're saying 15% in marketing.
Yeah. So there's so again, that's why I say my recommendation, and Cassandra, please chime in, is to fill out what you think your big goals are for the year. But to tighten this up makes way more sense once we do your budget, because we might move the DA hire up a couple months or back a couple months. We might get a van sooner or later. So anyways, this is great to have the vision for 2024. You definitely have to do this. how we break that out, I think is easier once we actually have the numbers on the paper.
It was
Okay.
much easier. So yeah, so like
Right.
someone, I think it was Alan saying, what if at the end of the year, before the end of the year, I want to have 3? So if you build the plan and you have a decent close rate, average job size, it's going to calculate for you. And then you can go back and say, if this all makes sense in my actual business plan, then you go back to your 1-year VTO,
Right
and
here.
then you can fill in some of those
Yeah.
details based on that.
Certainly they'll want to know your big picture goals, like your revenue, right? Because if you
Right.
say I want to be, again, this is Jackie pretending. If I say I want to be $800,000 business, then I fill out my business plan that comes to 550. Oh, that's a horrible gap. Or if I say I want to be 800 and my business plan comes to $1 million, that's a horrible gap the other way, a good way, right? So really, once we put it on paper by month, this is much easier to complete. So we'll come back. It'd be great if you guys could just get some big picture goals on here, Andrea, right? Just some big ones. And then we'll
Yeah,
come
I
back.
prepared it. I caught up to that. I'm sorry I was late hopping on a call, but I actually did this based on Alan's call last week.
Good. Yep. And then quarterly rocks, again, if you're reading the book Traction, you know that a rock is a goal that takes longer than 2 weeks and less than 90 days. I always like to think in pictures. So to me, I look at rocks and say, what are the 3 or 4 things I've got to step on to get from this side of the river to the other side of the river without falling in and getting my feet wet, right? If you're saying you want to hire, you're saying you want to, hire a DA in April, you're probably going to go start your recruiting process. I'm making that dates up, right? You start your recruiting process 2 months before that. So, well, in this case, since we're really going to be at the end of Q1, we'll change this to Q2 for you guys. So say I want to hire a DA in July, it means I've got to start the recruiting process in May. So that would be in that would be in that second quarter. My rocks would be, I've got to start the recruiting process. That's what I have to have done at the end of June in order to move forward and hit my numbers in July. Okay. This way easier to do for sure when you get the plan filled out. Because then we'll be able to apply dates to it. The issues list. Oh, let me just say one thing about rocks or goals. It's got to be measurable and it's got to have a time component. So it can't be, I want to do a lot of network. That's not measurable and there's no time component. Versus I want to run, I want to have run 10 appointments from realtor contacts by June 30th. Very measurable with the time component. Okay, so start thinking in terms of that. That makes sense? Measurable with a time component. The issues list is the what if. What if I hire a DA and they quit 3 months? What if my carpet installer quits his job and I don't have an installer? What if? Okay, that's what this is. And again, this is kind of maybe a little bit of your fears, right? What if I hire somebody and they quit? What if I can't find an installer? What if? So we're going to solve some of these, and we try to solve these, no more than a 12-month basis. Okay. So again, the homework on this page is column B as in boy. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. And you probably don't want more than 4 or 5 goals here, and probably not more than 3 or 4 rocks. If you want to attempt your rocks, attempt any that you want to too. By the way, guys. All right. So our homework then is so far is tab 1, which is your vision, your big vision. Tab 1A, which is your 3-year VTO, and tab 1B, which is your 1-year VTO.
And Jackie,
Next
just to clarify, you said for 1A, we're going to focus on column C.
Yep.
For the
Right here.
1B, we're going to look at all 3 of those, right?
Right. But we really want you to have B filled out, Chris.
Just B. Do you want us thinking about the quarterly rocks and the issues?
100%. Fill out everything you can that you feel comfortable doing. If we change it, it's still be did.
Okay.
It's easier to refine these, I believe, when you actually have numbers on paper.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And when is that happening, Jackie?
When is what happening?
When we actually put numbers on paper?
When I send this to you.
Okay. Thank you.
We're getting there. Good question. Yeah.
It's due by the end of the day.
Yeah. The call's ending in 37 minutes. I'd like it in 40. No. The point of what we said earlier on the call was this: we're going to actually try. The goal is to have this 100% complete when you come to training, completed by the time you finish training, so we can load it up into Salesforce. That's the big goal, right? There's lots of moving parts here. So I'm going to go through a couple of these tabs. Tab number 2 is not your homework because you don't have any history yet. right?
Right.
This is the form we'll use to start building your history, because you'll need that as we go. So tab number 2, no homework there. So you can, but watch the video and watch what Alan fills out of the video, because there's some good information in here too. But obviously you don't have any history to worry about at this point in time. For those of you guys that are resales, if you have this history, I'd fill it in. If you don't, I can get it for you on the at least on the sales and the install part. So just send me a note, remind me to pull it, and I'll send it to you, right? Because you'd like to know what the trend, what's been going on in your business, in your market that you bought. So I have access to that for you. So unless you're a resale, don't worry about the tab number 2. Yellow tab number 3 is your next thing. So this is where the rubber starts to meet the road. We're going to start at the top. Now, let me say a couple things here. Please watch this video.
Please.
Please watch the video. Otherwise, we're going to have to undo what you do. And we do have to undo. So watch the video. This is there. In case you'd rather read, here is the directions, how to complete this document. When you open it up, you're not going to see that stuff over here, and you're going to start typing crap in here. So let's just follow the directions, or else we literally have to undo it. So blue cells, you're going to start by changing your seasonality. You'll see that I've got this. None of you guys have. Some of you guys who are resales have your own data. But what I've done is pre-fill in the seasonality by month. Okay, this is the sales part, not the produce part. So you can see this is the season. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. This is the seasonality by month. 5% of your sales, 6%, 7.9. You can see January and February are 2 slowest months, right? It gets busier. A little dip in July, people on vacation, and then we take off like a train the second half of the year. So this is preloaded. Yours might be different when you get done, but this is typically what you see. These are the numbers we use corporately to do our projections for the upcoming year for all of our new owners. So these are what we use corporately. Again, our whole goal is to build history for next year. So when we do this next year, you've got your own numbers. So blue cells, start by changing your local sales seasons, changing your sales seasonality. Don't change this. Even the resale guys don't change this yet. Okay, use what's preloaded. Green cells. If you're a new owner and don't know your seasonality, what you do, or you're adding a DA, key in the amounts here. Do not do this. Do not do this yet. Do not type in greens. If you type in the greens, you'll see all the green cells have formulas in them. So do the white cells. Okay. So we're only going to type in blue cells, light blue and dark blue. Okay. So let's go back to the top. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And we don't have to get scolded. It just you have to redo the work, and it's a pain in the butt. So we're going to start up here. This is the number of DAs operating. You are the first DA. You are the first person. Let's just call this proposal writers. You are the first person writing proposals. Resales might be a little different when you start out, because but like Alan, even if we don't get anybody hired for you, you might be a proposal writer initially, right? So this is the number of mobile flooring showrooms, right? So 1 proposal writer, 1 mobile showroom for you. And by the way, you don't open really till April. Just leave the other ones blank, okay? Right? So this is you, mobile showroom, a proposal writer, mobile showroom. The other part of this is, so there you go. We're going to fill that across. I want to add a DA in August. You put a 2 here. And of course, you're going to put a 2 all the way across, right? That's because that's what that is. That didn't work. By the way, won't let you type anything and it locks the cells. The secret code, if you go up here at the top of the page to review. Sorry, let me get out of here. Go to review. But you have to, why is my review not working? Oh, review.
Unprotect sheet.
There's no secret code. Review, unprotect sheet, okay? But typically, if it's not letting you type in something, you're probably not supposed to be typing there anyways. So we're going to just say I'm going to be 2 mobile showroom people. I'm going to have 2 proposal writers for August, September, October, December. Now, here's the first question Cassandra and I are going to ask you. Is this the month you're hiring them, or is this the month they're going to start writing proposals? 2 totally different things, right? Because they're going to be on board probably 30 days before they actually start writing proposals. Maybe not. Maybe you're going to hire the next big rock star guy that's $2 million DA. He needs 2 weeks he needs to self-train for 2 weeks and off he goes. Great. But typically the month you hire is not the month they start contributing to your business. What else has to change when you hire this person?
Number of mobile showrooms.
Bingo. It's not scaling. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna say something else. Sorry.
What do you want us to put for that August 2? Do you want us to do when they're writing proposals or when we hire them? I didn't
Oh,
understand
when
that.
they're
I understand
contributing to
what
the
you
business.
mean, but
When they're
what do you put-
contributing, yeah, great question. I did not clarify that. Thank you. It's when they start contributing to the business, when they start selling.
Okay.
So in this case, if I looked at this from the outside, I'd say, okay, Chris, it looks like you're hiring the person in July and they're going to start contributing to your business in August. So we
Okay.
would put all the onboarding expenses in July. That's why we have to know what month vertically we're looking at. Make sense?
Does.
And it's not scaling if you don't add a mobile showroom, guys. It's not scaling. It's now you have one Subway store with 2 full-time managers. Not efficient, not profitable, and it's not growing your business. Okay. All right. So you're gonna fill the light blue squares in. Now we're gonna come down here and what did we say a mobile showroom should do for a full year? How much?
800.
800.
Bingo, look what it just did. All the formulas in there, right? And now we're gonna, the second one, if it was a full year, would be the same number, right? Oh, not 8 million, gosh.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so for you guys, if you do this, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna go 0, 0, right? In April, you're gonna start selling, right? This person gets hired and they're gonna start producing for you in August. Chris, this might help. You're gonna go like this. Right? And we know that we'll help you with the ramp up because they're probably not gonna do 76,000 the first month. You guys are probably not gonna do 70,000 in your first month. We'll help you with the ramp up. Right now, let's just get this in here. Okay. You'll see that this goes back, I think, Alan, to what you were saying, right? That if you had 2 mobile showrooms, but they're not full year, right? This would have been a $1.6 million business. When in actuality, when you take the months out and that's the proportional we're talking about, it's only $1 million in sales. Does that make sense to everybody? So
Yeah.
in the blue squares, it might be 750 for you guys because you're wearing 15 other hats. So this might be you and this might be them. Now we're down to 977. This is what I was talking about. Wow, now we got 3 people in the business and we're doing under $1 million. Right? This is what we're talking about. This exactly illustrates the question that Alan had earlier.
Jackie, can you see the formula and how that's calculated? Because you know, close rates are probably not going to be at the same level the first month.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Good question, Katie. We're not there yet. This is just revenue. How we get there is close rate, average job size, and slippage, which we're getting ready to do at the bottom. Okay. Great question. Yes. This is just saying that this is just balance of sale, right? That's all this is. Purely a calculation of 800,000 times these percentages. Very simple. Okay. But don't overwrite the formulas unless you're putting a 0 in. Okay. So far, so good, guys?
Yep.
Watch the video if you're not sure. Right now, we're going to come down. You don't have historical data. We're not worried about that. The yellow and white cells will auto-populate as we continue to fill them out. And this is where you're going to start to see, Katie, the impact of average job size, the impact of close rate, and slippage. So the next light blue is, first one is close rate. And you'll see that if we did this, for example, if this is, I'm going to say, Chris, this is you, and Chris is hiring me. Sorry, Chris, right? Then those names will transfer down. You won't know the name of your DA, right? Or unless you buy an existing business that has one. So the first thing we're going to fill out is close rate. So what is the ramp up for a franchisee? You guys can write this down if you want to, or I can leave it populated in here. Go ahead. Sorry, that's somebody had a question. The ramp up on close rate for you as owners, first time owners of the business, should look something like this. That's your close rate. Something like that. You're going to start out down here the first month, right? And then you should be able to as you're getting way better practicing your craft, right? You should see it up rate. We want to get you somewhere between 45 and 50 for your personal close rate. Now, this DA is getting added. I think we added them in August, right? So now we're going to go here and say for August, their ramp up looks really different because they're doing only one job and that's selling. Their ramp up is going to look like this. And you could be off a couple of points either way. But look at how much steeper that ramp up is than yours. Because they're doing one thing. They're focused on one thing in your business, and that's selling. Okay? That's what a ramp up. So if you're hiring that, and if, for example, Alan, if you wanted to bring another DA on, they're gonna let them sell in December before you bring to a convention, that first month, they would be 30%. Okay. So again, this is the background. I know this is a lot of stuff, guys, right? The next, so that makes sense, guys? You're gonna ramp a close rate and the DA is gonna ramp at a way steeper pace. Cassandra, anything else on this? Oh, good.
No, it makes sense.
No, I mean, it's really clear. I know Jackie said it a couple of times. Please watch the video or we're gonna have to undo what you've done. Or you're gonna, we're just sharing what we see, no matter how many times we say it.
Yep.
You override calculations and it's exciting. You just want to start clicking around. But please, 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 the little directions on the side tells you light blue, dark blue, where you input, but just watch the video. The videos are very precise and very short.
Yep. If you are one of the resale folks on the phone, you will have some data here, but I'm going to caution you, that's not your data on this form. I'm going to just caution you on that's not you. If you want to put dollars in, but it's not going to really impact, certainly close rate, average job size and slippage will not be your numbers. So it's relevant, but not here for planning purposes because you're still this guy right here, or this girl right here. This doesn't change. If they were at 40, this doesn't change yours. Okay. Or if they were at 10, this doesn't change either way, right? Okay, slippage. Who knows what slippage is? How it's calculated?
Leads that don't get proposals.
Correct. Leads to proposal, that ratio. Correct. So slippage is going to start out typically with new owners, something like this.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say every time I type it. Right. The corporate slippage is right around 60. If you want the corporate average, the folks who are above 2 million, their slippage is below 60. Okay. So what does that mean? What does this mean?
You have to find more leads.
Nope. It's got nothing to do with leads. What does 75% slippage mean?
You got to close more.
Not following up.
You're writing proposals on 25% of the leads that are out there.
Yep. So 70. So you get 10 leads in, 2.5 of them get a proposal. Where's the other 7.5? Who knows?
Lost in the black hole.
Right.
Too short of a day.
This is what I want you guys. I'm just gonna say this right now because we're doing this. I've now got people. The last class has been in business 10 days today. They launched last Monday, right? And I have people that are literally saying, "Turn off all my marketing. My leads suck. I can't get an appointment." Fill that in with whatever you guys want because you're all going to say it anyways, and every class does. This is the nature of the beast when you start the business. Not resales. Resales, I'll put an asterisk here. This is the nature of the beast when you start a business and you're launching your marketing for the first time. And what's the marketing that gets turned on first?
Leads, lead gen.
Digital.
Yeah.
Who are digital customers? Who are those people?
Angie's customers, people just browsing, filling out a form online.
Yeah, I'm online. It's midnight. I've always thought about having flooring. I'm going to fill out a couple forms. I don't want anybody to call me. I'm just curious. Guess what? If you've never been a customer of Angie, I say this to every class, go on Angie and become a customer in some other category, not flooring. Do it in roofing, do it in painting, do it in yard work, and see what happens to you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get probably 8 calls in less than a minute. And I'm not kidding. From the call centers for all those businesses, this is what happens to our customers. So then we're trying to call them thinking that we're going to be all poly helpful. And they're like, leave me the F alone. People will say that to you. Leave me the F alone. Take my name off your list. You want to say, what you want to say is, lady, you filled the form out. I did it. Right? But they don't understand because the customers we are Angie's customers. The homeowners aren't Angie's customers. We pay Angie. The homeowners don't, right? We're the customers. So they're trying to sell the leads to as many people like us as they can. So somebody who wants flooring, that lead might get sold to 5 or 8 different people like us.
Jackie, is that 75% slippage number? Is that a blend between digital and call it referral and network?
Yep.
So what is the actual conversion rate or slippage rate on the digital?
85. It's horribly high when you're new.
That would still imply you ain't doing real well on the networking ones either.
Right, because what do you? Because when you first start the business, do you have a network build? Do you have leads? Yeah, you don't have lead sources dropping in your lap. So here's the response: this is, I'm just telling you what reality is. It's 75, right? That's reality, guys. Does it go down? Absolutely goes down because you get better and smarter every single month on how to convert those. Your office manager comes up with all sorts of different tactics, right? And we help them. But the other part is you're going to go out and start building your networking people. I call it the drip campaign, low cost, no cost. Who's out there that I can make contact with that's going to drop 2 or 3 or 4 proposals in my lap every single month that I'm not paying for? Is it a realtor? Is it a, one of my favorite programs is the assisted living program. That's not a referral source. That's an actual customer. Every time somebody moves out, they have to change the flooring. Who's doing the flooring? Right? There's so many cool opportunities out there. The faster you can build your local marketing, which are way better, warmer leads, right? They already know you. They know of you. You have a conversation with them. They were referred to you by your best friend. Those people are way more likely to have you into their home and way more likely to buy from you just because of who they are and how you met. The faster you can build local networking, the faster this drops and the faster your marketing costs go down. Because at the end of the day, you have to drive to that 13 leads, 13 proposals per week. That's not what you do after you get to 2 million. It's how you get to 2 million. So the faster you can start to get to 13 million, you can't get to 13 million on PPA or on digital or pay-per-click because you will go out of business. You can't spend that much money. It's got to be supplemented by all of what you're doing locally. BNI, networking groups. There's a billion ways to do it, and we're going to help you guys learn those. I think Beth's probably talked about some of those. If you guys had, I think Kimberly, you had your call with Beth, right? Did you guys talk a lot about local marketing opportunities?
We did. She was pointing me to some directions and homework to do.
Yep. And so we know that, guys. Cassandra? I mean, I don't know how to drive this to you guys hard enough and fast enough. I just don't. Yeah.
So I have a question with the previous business call that we had last week. He was mentioning that, they want us to get 13 proposals a week, but he was saying realistically, when you start up.
13, not 32, 13.
I'm sorry, 13. I'm sorry.
Big difference, sorry.
13.
Yeah.
But realistically, because especially if you're in newer territory, he said to shoot for 6.5. This is still following all of that?
Yep. Yep. 100%. Because you can get 6.5 on digital. You can get 6.5 on digital. You can do that. But to grow past that, it's going to be very difficult because you're paying for every single one of those, right? There's a cost associated with every one of those proposals, whether you land the job or not. Which is why we talk about, go and set up. We do something here at the Orlando. There's a Alpharetta has a like a wine food truck once a month in the summer. It's every third Thursday of the month, a food truck event. We go set up there for training. We don't take a single sample, and we'll book between 6 and 8 appointments, and it costs $60. Those are the things you got to look for. And that's the job of your office manager. Go find me a local event. So the rule of thumb is 1 local event per month per mobile showroom. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do the marketing presentation. So let's look at this. Yeah.
Sorry. So when we're analyzing slippage, I mean, what are you looking for, or how are you using that data?
So because the higher your slippage, the more leads you're going to need, the more leads you're going to need to get to your 6 a week, right? So let me finish filling this in. I think you'll see how it affects it up here. Is that fair? Right? If you're only converting 1 out of 4, right, which is really what this is, well, you're 75% slippage, right? Which means you're going to write 25 proposals for 100 leads. 25 proposals is what we want you to have in a month. That's your 6.5 a week. That means you need 100 leads for that month. But if your slippage was 50% and you need 24 proposals, you only got to have 50 leads. So this drives your the number of leads and lead costs you need. That's what this drives. Lower slippage means you're converting your leads coming in faster and better, and not faster, but better, right? A different percentage. So the goal here long-term is to get you guys at 60%. But I will tell you, it's hard to lower this more than about 2% a month. So this might look something like this. Your progression might look something like this. Whoops. Not 99, holy mouse, 69, 67. Your progression over the next few months might look something like this. Okay, because here we're having a DA come in the business, right? So we're going to actually turn up our digital marketing at this point by about $4,000 a month. To drop.
Jackie,
Yeah.
Quick question, because if the slippage is leads that never turn into proposals, does that mean we didn't even get to have an in-home visit, or it was
Yes.
an unsuccessful home visit? We didn't even get there, right?
99% of this is you never got in the home.
Okay, so would you say then the who that is most responsible for improving that is the office manager?
100%. Yes. It's the one KPI you can use to measure your office manager's performance on all of our documenting and all of our reporting. Okay. So this is just a necessary evil. This is the learning curve of, oh my gosh, I got 15 leads my first week. How the heck do I turn into appointments? So there's so much learning the first 90 days, guys. Right? So don't let this scare you. It's just reality. So as you're getting better at selling, you're getting better at getting appointments, or your office managers, right? Everybody's learning the first 90 days. Everybody's learning. Okay. Average. So again, the corporate average here is you'd want to be in at 57 to 60, but that's at getting to, we don't even have this as a KPI for the $2 million business because everybody does it differently. Average job size or average sale, right? You guys are probably going to start out something like this. You might land a $12,000 job and then you land two $1,200 jobs, right? So don't take too much stock in this other than it is a measurement. So this is also hard to raise more than a couple $100 a month at a time. So this progression might look something like this. Oh, that would be really nice if we could be done in 1 month. Might look something like this. Cassandra, right? This is about what you're seeing too. Right? Right? The measurement of the $2 million business, we talk about the floor is that's 7,250. So this is a nice progression here. This also, Katie, affects the number of leads you need, because if I can go and run 5 jobs at $6,100 average job size, if I can land 5 jobs at $6,000, that's 30,000, or I can run 12 jobs at $3,000. Right? This is the rat wheel. This is how fast how much time you got to go around that rat wheel to get the dollars. Okay.
What are the levers that are controlling that average job size growth?
It's you, because you're in the home. So what we typically
It's
say,
like you're having, like, let's say month 1, you have an exact similar appointment as in month 6, but what you're doing upselling better.
You're changing scope. That's one of the biggest drivers there, is you're getting more precise and just better in your selling skills, and you're building confidence. So once your confidence goes up, then you're going to be able to at least present scope to the customer and give them that option. And you never know. And then also the average sell, and it's something that we speak to, it's financing that absolutely impacts your average sell. So just as you mature, your average sell typically goes up.
I would say, from a coaching perspective, right? If we're looking at a franchisee who's at a 25% close rate and a 75% slippage and a 45, let's just say 25% slippage and a $4,500 average job size in month 6, when you look at low average job size and low close rate, that screams lack of confidence in the home. You are the person in the customer's home. So there's all sorts of levers. Like Cassandra said, it might be you're changing scope. You're more comfortable adding it on. You're selling at a 50% margin because you're not having a panic attack and taking your margin down to 40%. You're more comfortable selling a more expensive product because you have better product knowledge. All sorts of things go and impact that. That was you, Katie, right, who asked that question? All of those things can impact that. But what we typically say is your average job size will follow your close rate in increase, and it lags by about 30 days. So as you become more confident and you're closing more in the home, you'll be more confident showing a higher priced option. I will only speak for myself. When I first started training, the first time I wrote a proposal in the tablet, it was like $18,000 for carpet. I said, I can't show this to the customer. I would never pay $18,000 for carpet. Something must be wrong with the tablet. Right? I mean, that's a human reaction, right? I could never show this to them. How embarrassing. What do they think I'm doing here, right? But in reality, that's part of that learning how to, we say all the time, TTS, trust the system. right? And when you can erase your own personal biases and your own personal whiteboard in your head, you can sell an $18,000 job to anybody. And then,
Well-
right?
Jackie, your voice is going in and out on your microphone. What
I'm
was the
sorry.
last thing you said?
I said, when you have that, sorry, I had internet issues yesterday. Anyways, what I'm saying is that when you erase the whiteboard in your own head and erase your own biases of, oh my God, who would possibly pay $18,000 for carpet? Or look at the shape of this house. I can't show them a proposal for $18,000. You got to get all that stuff out of your own head.
And that makes sense. And I guess I'm wondering, where does the 7250 come from? That's all over our.
That's the average job size.
That's the average job size for a $2 million and for a profitable $2 million business.
I've got them collapsed with what we're looking at, average sale and average job.
Same thing, same thing.
Okay, it is. I was checking. So you're saying that it's going to take me till a year plus on average to get to 7250, which is our goal for.
No, I'm saying that's what you need to be when we say four who's 13 proposals per week, 7250 average job size, 45% close rate. That's what you need to be poised at. Again, remember, this is only 8 months, 9 months. This isn't at 12 months. So can you get there faster than this? Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, because that to me, when we're doing our proposals, there's like, that's one room, right? So like.
Well, everybody's different. So some people may be starting out at 6,000.
Yeah. Like I'll give you an example. One of our guys that came out of class 10 days ago, his first job he landed was $8,800. And it was actually, the customer got approved for $10,000 in financing. So they went to they spent $8,800.
Right.
And Cassandra already mentioned it. Financing is the biggest driver. If you want to look at the levers you can use to drive average job size, you've got to be offering the customer financing every single time you walk in the house, and don't be afraid of it. Our competition starts with on the setup call. They do it when they walk in the door, and we're not very good at it. We're just not. So that's a great lever or a tool to help drive your average job size. The other thing is get out of your own damn head. But remember, the $6,100, look at this, is 20 jobs that month landed. Looking at this budget, it's 20 jobs landed with an average of $6,100. So this is a $120,000 month. That's not a little baby apple juice right there, right? That's big stuff. But this could be, I did 5 backsplashes at $1,200 a piece. I did a couple carpet stretches because it got me in the customer's home, and I'll get a referral on it. And I had 3, and I had 2 $20,000 jobs. Remember, this is nothing more than an average, literally, right? And you're going to be way more comfortable taking the smaller jobs when you first start because it just doesn't feel like such a risk. Right. Good. Great questions, guys. So you'll see now what this did, right? Now, Katie, this filled all this in up here, right? So now we know how many proposals we need to write each month. We need to know how many leads we need. There's your 13 proposals per week. This is pretend numbers, right? We'll get through this. I didn't change this yet. We'll change those numbers. But how many leads I need? 235 leads. So that makes me want to pop myself on the head with a hammer. That's a lot of leads, right? And again, we're going to come back. This is not a real one because we messed around with the numbers. But this will now tell you how many proposals does each person need to write. So when I hire this person, so Chris, if I'm working for you, if these were the real numbers, they're not, right? I would be needed writing 48 proposals a month. This becomes my DA business plan, right? And then we hold them accountable. That's how that works, right? Here's the number of jobs landed. And again, this is just to illustrate how everything calculates, right? The last thing we're going to do is look down here and say, how much are we going to install? So again, I preloaded the historical install by month. You'll see that we do, 33.5% of our installs in the last 90 days. We're very typical. Our lowest install month is January. So you get January, February, you guys missed those months. Yay. And so what we do is typically you're going to install, somebody brought this up earlier, right? You're going to install roughly 90% of what you sell. One of you guys asked about certainly what we sell in December, we'll install in the following January, right? So yeah, so the average is about 91% of what you sell, you install. So let's just say of the 977 we sold, we're going to install 900,000 of that right here. Put your planned install number right here, right? And look, it's spread it across by month. Again,
is that planned install number, should that eliminate December?
It does, because we're only installing 90% of what we sold.
Okay.
So we sold 977, Andrea, and we're only
Uh-huh.
gonna install 900.
Okay.
Saying that the other 77 we sold, which is about 2/3 of this, is gonna install the next January. Okay,
All right.
makes sense. The average time between selling and install, guys, is about 40 days. So it's like a sell here, install here, sell here, install there, right? All right, and so that now we'll calculate it, will tell you what you're gonna install each month. This is your top line revenue. Your business runs on install dollars, not on sales dollars. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lots and lots and lots of stuff here to digest.
Yes.
So
Quick question, Jackie,
Yes.
on the installed revenue.
Yes.
It seems like those formulas there don't directly tie to the ones above. You have to put the dollar value here, and
Right
then
here.
it calculates based
It
on the
calculates
percentage.
based on, because this percentage or balance of sale by month is not the same as this.
And,
That's our
and
selling.
shouldn't,
Yeah.
and for example, if we're saying that 66,000 we're gonna sell in April, shouldn't we put that number in May as installed?
No, those aren't real numbers. Don't look at those numbers. I was more illustrating, right? So, well, you're installing 65.7 in May. Right? And this was 66, right? So you're gonna install what you sold in April plus the first week of May. Think of it like a zigzag.
So do we have to zero out the first 3 columns there?
We will, and then we'll retype them in based on what you're selling up top. So don't do that yet, because what we're gonna do is go back up and fix this. Because like, for example, you're not, well, it'll be lovely if everybody on this call sold 66K the first month, but the average is about 30, right? So we're gonna manually ramp this up to get it caught up to probably right here, Katie. Okay? That's my point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that on the next call. So I'm saying, let's get everything in here now. The really cool thing about this business plan is once we get it in here, it's so easy to play around with. Well, what if this? What if I added a DA different month? What if I added a DA 1 month sooner, 1 month later? Remember, this is just the revenue portion of the business plan. This is not the expense portion. Okay?
Is there a portion of this tied to marketing spend?
Yep. Oh, listen to that question. Did I pay you for that?
It's like you set me up on these.
I did, right? So we're gonna go over here, and this is what you're gonna work on with Beth. These 5 turquoise tabs. These are all of the marketing stuff, right? She's gonna work you through these, and then this one is the one that ends up getting filled out. So whenever you get this done and you have numbers up here in the top row, on row 3, right? Your marketing numbers will be up there. Now we're gonna go back and look at our expense forms, and those numbers are gonna transfer right over here to line 38. Did I answer your question? That's an emphatic yes.
Yes.
And is this call with Beth something that we're gonna get an invite to, or do we have to schedule?
Did you schedule your own, right, Kimberly? You have to reach out to her based on.
I did, but I thought you said that we were gonna have a group call. I didn't know about a group call.
I might have you mixed up with the other training class. Imagine that. Let me.
I reached out to her and scheduled a meeting we had
Yeah.
yesterday, so I think she's expecting us to reach out to her.
Yeah, let me find her email from that yesterday. Hang on one sec, guys. I thought
reached out to her, she hasn't
yeah, I thought she
responded.
sent an email yesterday that said, here's my link, here's my stuff. That call like from yesterday.
Jackie,
Yeah.
Chris and I weren't on Arlen's email list, so I just want to make sure that we are on her list.
No, this is the January class. This is January. She has a really
Sarah
nice.
sent out an email today that had her information in there
Yeah,
too.
okay. Yeah. I thought she had a March call in here. These are all the others. Yeah. If not, just reach out to her, guys. Because
What's her last name, Jackie? I don't have an email from
Paul
Beth.
Licky,
so-
PAW. Here, you can see it on my screen.
Okay, thank you.
Andrea, I did not either from Beth.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I didn't either.
Just reach out, guys. I mean, she's got the 17 people for that launch that she's following up with, and then 14 of you she's trying to do. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna put that in here. Let me put it in the group. Let me put it in the chat. In a second. Let me get out of this. Go over here. I'll put her email in the chat. Remember we're first initial.
Yeah.
Hey Jackie, I sent her an email on Tuesday. I haven't hit back, but I guess give her some time, right?
just send a reminder because she does all the new people. So right now she's got the September class, the December class, the January class, you guys, and the April class.
Well, the email from Garrett today is he's only talking about like the digital resources and,
Yeah.
but he does provide it. They're all on it. He does
Yeah.
provide her email address, but
Yep.
it doesn't say to reach out for this. I didn't know.
Just send her a note and she'll send you a say the word for me, Calendly link.
Calendly.
I can't say it. And grab some time. But there will be, you're gonna spend hours with her literally at training in a couple of weeks to go through the actual filling out of the yellow tabs. So what you're gonna do now in a one-on-one with her is gonna be more the background on all the tactics. But we're gonna actually fill that out when you get here. So you're gonna see when you get your agenda from Savannah for when you guys come to launch that you have time with Cassandra and I. And then you have time with and no, did I not send this to everybody? Sorry, I didn't send this. I meant I sent this to everybody. Hang on a second. Everyone in the meeting. Sorry, I thought I sent this out. Beth Paul. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, can't type. Yeah, there's gonna be time. So we're gonna have time with us to go through the business plan, finish that up, everything but marketing. Then you'll spend time with marketing the next morning, and then we'll get back together in the afternoon and finalize all that. Okay. That's our goals. But if you guys can get a head start on this, let's see. I can't type it. There you go. I put her email in the chat. Yeah, then you guys will have that, then work on your specific based on your market. But for most of you guys who are new, it's really cookie cutter for the first 6 months. Okay. What else, Cassandra? What else, guys? Questions?
I just think the only question that's come up for me since, I did the Go Forum and all that stuff, I'm getting like pummeled with phone calls. And sometimes I kind of wonder, am I supposed to be talking to that crew? Because I'm also getting spammed to death. Because when I updated my LinkedIn, I think everybody and their freaking mother just reaches out. It says flooring in it or something.
You should. Let's see. Yeah, they all
Web Punch, I'm like, oh, great, I have to do something with them. I think I mentioned that to you. And then I got Nicole's Express Stock, and then Local Act called me, and Online Image through June. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm having appointments with every single one of those people. I know. So I'm just feeling a little like I need, maybe helpful hints in the future. In that dashboard, it would be really helpful to represent all the humans that we're going to have to speak to and ensure that we have turned on in the week or before and the week after we open or whatever the case is, because right now it's really kind of confusing because again, I think part of it is everything starts sounding the same because people are phishing and spamming.
And there are so many.
Yep. Right.
And
So
there's a dozen, right?
So when you look at I know you just paid yours. Let me find out. Let me pull up somebody who already paid before you did and has this response already. Let me find this real quick.
I mean, I'm getting now, all my people are finally responding with account numbers, but I had to follow up with some of them 3 times. Like AHF is slow, Shaw is slow. I mean, I'm like, wow.
You should have Shaw in 3 days.
No, there wasn't in 3 days.
Been waiting for almost 2 weeks for Shaw account number now, Jackie.
They're slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got mine like
then reply to the
day of,
message.
so Saul, I just can't get Emser. But Saul came.
Oh, nothing from Emser for me either. I mean, I've got people that have been average is probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we should do something.
So I'm going to say this, and Cassandra will suck at this probably louder than I will. You are the business owner. You are the customer. Send a note and ask for your account number.
Yeah. I keep following up, and until my office manager gets here, I feel like I've just naggified these women because they're mostly these credit people, because they're finance people that are doing all this.
Yeah, they're working 8:30 to 5:30 with an hour and a half lunch. I'm just gonna sorry. You guys will never do that again. Don't worry.
Yes, thank God.
So not that you have to don't be a rude squeaky wheel, but at the end of the day, you're trying to start your business, right? Seriously, let me find.
Well, and just so you know, it was interesting because I followed up on one question about the credit limit, and then I re-reviewed it and she bumped it up. I'm like, okay, that's great. I didn't ask for that, but I had questions and she just gave me more money. I'm like,
good, that's perfect. Then we know how to get who's going to raise our credit limits for us.
Right.
So I see a couple of you guys paid your, like Chris, you just got a link for your grand opening form. Sean got one. Scott got one. Don't fill those out without me or Sandra, please. Do not. Okay.
From Nicole.
Yep.
Marino. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I filled mine out already, Jackie, with Savannah.
Yeah, you're good. Savannah or me. Fine.
Okay.
Yep. Let me find, I'm trying to find when somebody already did it. Hang on a sec, so I could just say, there's one that says, here's the people.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't get that from Nicole. Let me see. Nicole just sent me like one back to back with different things in it. So I was like, why did she send me one? Express
Because she does
Docs.
it by vendor. Trust me.
Oh,
That
that's why
girl's a darn-
I'm getting one after the other from Nicole.
Because
Okay.
she does one vendor at a time. And they
Yeah,
provide the
but-
information to her and she forwards it to you, Kimberly. She doesn't do it. She's a third party person. She's not.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I'm trying to find what she's gonna send here anyways. Yeah, you're gonna have, I'm
But-
just trying to, yeah, go ahead.
But to the point, we should be able to have some kind of checklist. We got that big checklist. We should have a
Mhm.
sub checklist that says,
Mhm.
here's the people that you
Love
should
it.
set up. Like Jackie, I was asking you about Yelp. You said, hey, don't do anything with Yelp.
Oh,
But, you know, I
Hey,
don't
Jackie,
know.
shouldn't all of this be like on a marketing call?
Yep, that's what
Q&A.
I'm just made a note. Yep. Great
oh,
stuff.
great. Okay, right.
Great stuff. Yeah. I'll make up a lot of answers for you guys. You just don't want to know if it's the truth or not.
Yeah, and I was having the same issue where I'm getting reached out by Thumbtack and Pure.
Yep. So I'll give you
Social
3
media
seconds.
simple.
Yelp, no. Thumbtack, yes. Web Punch, yes.
But I think the point is, it'd be nice to know who we should and who
Yeah,
we shouldn't.
no, it's all
instead
good.
of having it.
Well, here's the problem, Ed. Should and shouldn't is up to you. It's not my business. It's your business. But we'll give you our guidance.
No,
right?
but I
It'd be
think,
just as
Jackie,
good.
no,
It's a checklist.
Hearing
Okay.
me.
I heard, it's all heard, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Again, love it. Thank you, Brad. We love the feedback. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just being snarky. Fun snarky, not bad snarky, right?
No,
All right,
I'm
so
not,
keep being-
I'm just saying
Yeah.
it needs to be presented to the right people.
Yep,
So
yep.
I don't know if that's Garrett or
Yeah.
Beth, but definitely on one of those calls.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna take this back to our startup section too. So I do appreciate that. We love, by the way, guys, we love the feedback and we change a little bit of something every single month. So we love the feedback. So please keep it coming. Good stuff.
I think that Jackie, the more snarky you get, the more likely several of us are gonna wear Jackie t-shirts in Atlanta next time.
We already said that's forbidden. I told you before, you had to earn the right, Kimberly. You can't just come in that way.
I was following him. I'm like, where'd you get that t-shirt? Let's see if we.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that here. So
I have a
always
real
fun for
quick,
convention. So
Real
we got a few minutes left. We're kind of done with this part. So follow up is I will send you out the form, the business plan form. And you can reach out to either Cassandra or myself if you want to, if you're working on it between now and you come in. Well, both of us more than happy to help you through it. You've got your homework listed. I'll relist it in the email, right? And then when you then Orlando, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I was raising my hand for Chris. He had a question.
Oh,
did. Oh, thank you.
all right.
Just real quick, I missed the marketing call with Garrett. He sent that out. I'm going to watch that after
Mhm.
this.
Yes.
He listed out some to-dos, including Beth Palicki's email in there.
Yep.
That was the 1048 email. So if you guys did not see that, that is in there. He makes recommendations on sign up, and lists 5, 6, and 7. Are we to do that? Like, is this guidance or is this,
Yep.
no, you need to do this?
Yes. So like
Do it,
number,
do it.
okay, great. I'm looking at the email that came out this morning from Garrett. This might help what you guys are just asking. Sign up for the multi-channel new mover program from Express Docs and El Toro and budget $2,000 a month. Click here to sign up. Sign up for the multi-channel digital canvassing program with Express Docs at $1,800 a month. Click here to sign up. Sign up for your social media management with Social Made Simple for $365. Sign up by clicking Camille's email.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't want to speak for the group, but I know that Alan asked the question, hey, where does Yelp figure in and stuff like this? Right now, the guidance is don't do anything outside of 1 through 7. Just do 1 through 7.
Mhm.
That's it. Don't
Mhm.
think outside the box. Even though
Start
we are
here.
going to do it, just do 1 through 7.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm trying to figure out what am I interpreting that I need to do and what do I need to do? And I think that's that gray area that kind of comes in there
Yep.
to say, not I'm confused, but firm direction. And maybe that's where I need to schedule some time to you to say,
Yeah.
hey, walk me through this for 30 minutes.
I wasn't on the call either, so thank you. I did see this email this morning, but actually didn't even look at it yet. This is, yeah, the email you guys got from Garrett at 10:48 this morning. This I think will answer a lot of the things you just all raised your
Okay.
hands on.
Terrific. Thank you.
Oh, just as a PSA, I was just looking at Garrett's email, Jackie. There is actually a calendar link to set up time with Beth on that email that he just sent instead of emailing her.
Yep.
And I'm just
100%.
letting you guys know her earliest availability is February 29th.
If that's the case, then send her an email.
Oh, okay. Well, I sent her an email, so.
Or you could just book a calendar appointment. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying. The earliest availability is
I mean,
February
if you
29th.
use her FCI calendar, I don't know. She may
Yeah,
not.
that's what this
have
is.
Calendly all open.
So what,
Calendly, right?
Yeah.
yeah, what's happened sometimes, because Jackie told me this with her too, and I think with Beth, when they get booked for all the trainings, then their calendar gets flooded and there's nothing open, but that doesn't mean they're not available.
Correct.
That's why Calendly is not always ideal.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard from you, Jackie, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I sent her an Outlook invite. Her calendar was open in Outlook, and she accepted it for a quick call.
Yep.
So
Not for the hour long, because remember, that Calendly is only for a 1 hour call. It's not a 15 or a 30.
okay.
So send her, send her an invite for 30 minutes and she'll almost always accept it. Yeah, great point. Thanks, Alan. That'll help. That it was going back to the email from Garrett, guys. Look through that. This is not, we're not having a marketing. I mean, I certainly can't solve the marketing stuff, but that will help you. I think what you need to do is from a checklist perspective. And I heard what you guys said about being on the big checklist. So we appreciate your comments on that. Thank you. Okay. Anything else on the business planning process? I'm happy to, I've got a few minutes if anybody wanted to stay, but I'm happy to also let you guys go a few minutes early because we don't always get 20 minutes back on a Thursday. So we can do that. Unless anybody else has questions. You guys thank you for the great attendance. Thank you guys for the great interaction. So again, I'll send out the form, the business plan form. Use this one. Do not use the one that's on floor 1-1. Save this to your Excel using your last name and then business plan 2024. So we're all in the same format. And then as you're working on that between now and when you come in, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Cassandra or myself. I'll make sure Cassandra's copied that. Also, you guys probably have her email already. And the goal is just to try to get
to fill this. We just need to have this completed when we come in for our launch.
Only the homework I gave you today.
Okay.
And I'll relist it in the body of the email because the rest of it is stuff that at this point, I would say when we're talking about coming to launch, a couple things. Number one, make sure you've got your QuickBooks Online set up. Make sure you've got QVinci set up. And I'll put that in because we need access to that to finish this business plan when you're here.
Yeah.
You say QuickBooks and what else?
QVinci. It's on your checklist. It's on your other
A little
checklist.
bit of extra time. Do you want to give us the layman's identification of what QVinci really does or means? I don't.
Yep, QVinci is nothing more than a communication software. It allows us to extract reports out of your QuickBooks. We cannot get into your QuickBooks. They belong to you and your business. It's an extraction software that allows us to pull, for example, a monthly P&L. And that's how we do our financial reviews, Marty, because what we'll start once you're up and running, we start every 30-day financial review. Your financials are supposed to be clean by the 10th of the month for the prior month. So right now, like this is the week people are finishing up their financials for the month of January. We start our financial reviews. I think I've got my first one tomorrow. Sandra and I we do small group financial calls for every month, the week after the 15th, essentially the third week of the month. That'll be on your calendar forever now, once you get open. So QVinci allows us, Marty, to just log in. We log into QVinci. I can go pull up England. I can say I want to run the P&L from January to March, and it just sucks. It's a communication software. So when you set it up on your end, we pay for it. You set it up on your end with QVinci. It's a quick little 10-minute call, and all it does is just make the connection. That help, Marty?
It did. That's one I can get off my list easy now.
Please get a check mark, guys. Right. Who here is doing their own books? Just raise your hand. Or being
never.
Someone in your office. Okay.
Someone, not personal, my office manager. She has an accountant in the background for history.
So, QuickBooks Online, and you have to have the translator software in order to export the IIF files out of Salesforce and into QuickBooks Online. So there's another piece of software you have to have. If you're not using Unify, you can send a note to Unify and they will give it to you. They will provide it for you and show you how to set it up. They'll set up for you. Actually, I did it with the franchisee this morning. But you have to have
Going
that.
through Unify though, they do that automatically, correct?
If you're using them, they do it automatically, yes.
And what is
Yeah,
the
they
name-
have a training in the email, like they'll tell you, because I just did mine, like I bought it, I got 3 emails sent, do this, this, and this, and then schedule this, because we'll do a training with the translator too.
Really simple, very simple.
Yeah.
What's
So
it
you
called
gotta
again?
go, you gotta go through
Uh,
a training?
On the translator software, Alan.
Oh, okay, because
It's
I
called
didn't get
A,
anything from
did you get AA
Unify on
text?
that.
Only if you're doing it yourself and you purchase it through them. It's did you get, is
Yeah.
it called AA text, right, Kimberly? AATX is the name of the software.
I don't remember, I'd have to
I know
look it up.
nothing about it other than that I just saw it this morning on another franchisee's computer. I don't have it.
And if we're not doing our own books and we're going to pay the $300 per month, what is the name of the vendor that does that for us? And how do we set-
Unify.
Unify.
It's in your check. It's in your checklist. It's in your
Okay.
setup
Chris,
checklist.
they were great. They
Awesome.
set me up in a minute. They were fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
we
gonna
all
say,
work with,
go ahead.
All the way.
I think we all work with the same guy, Keith, right? His name is, I think.
Keith Greener
Yeah,
is the,
Keith.
he's the account manager. He's not the person who actually does your books.
Yeah, so,
No,
but
not
the
the books.
onboarding team was fantastic.
Yeah,
So
okay,
here's
yeah.
what I'm gonna say. No matter who you're using to do your books, it doesn't matter. Unify, the man in the moon, your office manager, it doesn't matter. You are going to have to provide them with information. The people that are struggling with their books, Cassandra, would you agree, is they don't, I don't care who's doing your books, nobody's a mind reader, guys. So if they look at your checking account, say, here's a check for $10,000 to Shaw, they don't know who it's for, or what it's for, or when it was, right? I mean, Cassandra, how many times do we say this when we're doing financial reviews every week?
Yeah, I mean, there's owners that believe that once they hire someone, as Jackie said, it doesn't matter who it is, that they're hands off the steering wheel. And that is not that is not how you can do this. It's, you set them up, they know our chart of accounts, they know everything, but they don't know, as Jackie said, which job it went to, what it was for. Like an example, we always say, it doesn't matter if you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, you have to run out and get something. That needs to be noted to a particular job, right? And if they just see that you swiped your credit card, they don't know where it goes. So just because someone else is doing your books, they are not mind readers. They need to know. So with Unify, I'm not sure of anyone else, they will literally send you information that they need before that date, that 10th drop dead date. You have to fill it out. That's if you did not, what is it? It's
Bill.com.
Bill.com.
Bill.com, which is awesome, by the way.
Yes. So if you use Bill.com, you take a picture, you have notes on your receipt, it goes up. They know exactly, where to charge it to. But if you're not doing that and then you don't answer their emails, then your books are not going to be vertically aligned. It's going to be in a wrong account, or it's going to be
Nowhere.
just floating.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Fun stuff. So so the takeaway from that conversation is please make sure you've got who's ever doing your books, you've got all that set up. And then you then go to, and then set up with QVinci, which is in your checklist. It's literally click here. There's a letter in there, click here to set up. It's a 20-minute, maybe less than 20-minute phone call. Make sure you have that done before you get here, or you will be doing that while you're here. Because we can't finish the business plan without that information. Okay. Good stuff, guys. All right. Now you
Thank you
only have
all.
12 minutes left,
Great call.
or 22 minutes left, or whatever. It's 12 minutes. Good stuff. Anybody else have any other questions for the good of the order? You guys pretty good? This will be recorded. I'll give it to Savannah, and I'll send out the business plan and work through that. And if you need any help, of course, reach out. Okay.
Thank you.
Jackie.
Thanks. See
Great
ya.
day. Great
Thank
to
you,
see all of you
Cassandra.
guys.
Jackie.
Nice work.